UTA play with Nava before, so we'll see how they do as Rain has to make a big save to start this game. And on the other side, in orange is Delaware, Rain, Vixen, Grau.
Yeah, and Nava being on the roster, I like him already going for aggressive plays, makes one quick touch on the ball and immediately goes for a demo. That's the kind of start UTA likes to go for.
Certainly some noticeable names as Samba, a huge demo. There's Adverse. Quick shot, quick goal, make it a 1-0 game. It was 2 demos. I think Nava gets one on Grau here at the end, but the demo in the goal opens things up. Adverse not going to miss that.
Yeah, great job getting the demo. And of course, it's going to open up to Adverse, who is the star of the show here for UTA. He is one of the top performers consistently for this UTA roster.
Again, Adverse and Samba, 2 players that have been around the block in the collegiate scene time and again. They have played a whole lot with one another as well. Certainly a classic combo for this UTA team, and they've already connected once here in this one. We'll see if they can do it again as Adverse gonna slow the pace down. Block there from Grau. Samba towards the back wall. They'll be in and out of the corner. Rain doesn't find the touch. Adverse gonna go one-on-one with Vixa. Can't quite get that ball free, and we will continue to play 1-0 here in favor of UT Arlington. A minute and a half gone, and both sides, again, still kind of in the feeling out period, but Arlington on the board where it matters.
Yeah, UD is really struggling to get the ball past midfield with control. UTA right now owning the midfield boost, and that's creating these opportunities as Adverse finds the bottom corner.
And this is a nice little play from Nava. Doesn't panic with the defender coming out to meet the play. Actually kind of baits the challenge in the wrong direction, gets the pass out in front, and Adverse is gonna bury it. So Nava connecting with Adverse again. 2 assists for Nava, 2 goals here for Adverse. So nice to see these players starting to connect with one another early on in this game. We were wondering, obviously, how Nava was going to work with this team, and so far so good.
Yeah, Nava has looked like the perfect third man on this roster so far. And if UD is going to find a way to fight back in this one, you saw Grau got an air dribble off, but he is the captain of this team. He has got to get going. Delaware is going to be able to come back in this game.
Well, Rain trying to be patient out of his own zone. There's a demo on Vixa. Nava doing the challenge immediately. Another demo on Vixa. Samba looking for a touch towards, and immediately off the respawn, Vixa will send it clear as we continue to play game number 1. A 2-0 lead here for UTA. Rain wants to change that off the post. Rebound will be blocked away. Nava just gets in front of it.
It's such a hard angle to cut for Rain. He wanted the goal, but he's coming at it too fast. And unfortunately, UD could not put one home there. UTA escapes with their 0 still on the board.
Got to protect it for the next minute 50 as well. Samba in transition. Grau just going to play that one into the corner. That's the 50 win over top of Adverse as well, and now looking to generate some offense. Forces Nava into a tough spot. Can't make the save. Rain from the sharp angle. It's 2-1.
The sharp angle indeed. Look at this off the corner, jumps down and kicks this ball back up, crossbar and in. Rain, you said it best, brings it back to a 1-goal game.
And again, that pressure, that little bit of pressure from the attacker flashing across the goal line. Didn't get the demo on Nava. I don't even think even touched Nava, but forced him to back up, jump over the demo, and couldn't get back to that ball. It's that kind of rotation disruption that can be so important in games like these, as Nava, again, a great move, but can't get the pass across. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite control it. Samba's going to rotate forward, send this all the way down. Grau has to get up quickly to make the play. 60 seconds left to go. Still a 1-goal advantage here for UT Arlington. But Delaware hasn't gone out quietly. They've continued to try to find some pressure, but only 2 shots on the board thus far.
This ball is just kind of stuck at midfield. Finally, Nava wins a challenge, but no one can really gain possession. It is a battle line drawn right at midfield where neither team can get by.
That's going to work in the favor of UTA in the long run. They've got this 1-goal lead. Got to defend it for the next 25. Adverse in a 2-on-1 situation, but Grau can't control the play. Samba with a demo onto Rain, but Adverse plays it right into him. And eventually, it does fall onto Nava. This is off the sidewall, off the post. Samba gonna let Vixa by, and with 8 seconds left, here comes Vixa. Pass down to Rain, they score! Delaware ties the game. 5 seconds left to go, maybe overtime game 1.
In transition, UD, up the wall there, and I think Samba kind of realized what was happening a little too late. If he had gone fully in for that challenge, I think he would have actually bought themselves enough time. But what a play to even up the game right as time expires.
So Adverse with 2 in this game, Rain with 2 in this game. Who is going to be the hero of game 1? A comeback from Delaware, but it's not yet complete. They've got to find one more in this overtime session. At Samba, this is a bit of a giveaway. Vixa, he'll just play it off the back wall. Couldn't get the angle to take the shot. It's now Adverse tries to go one-on-one with Grau. Not going to win that. Samba pops it up, and Vixa going to play it side wall. Rain down to Grau. Adverse will take control, pops it up to himself. This is over towards Samba. He gets there, but doesn't have the angle. And now Grau in a one-on-one. Adverse is going to try to cut it off. Forces the shot. Nava, no problems on that one. We continue in OT. A very, very close game 1. Samba just trying to create some space out of the corner. Has Adverse out in front, but the patient defense from Delaware going to block this one away for the moment.
Feels very mind game-esque, very much a game of cat and mouse. Who's going to make the first move? Who's going to bait out a defender? Both of these teams trying to play so careful, but there's the demo by Samba.
Oh, great pass! Shot will be saved. Vixa covering that near post. Grau now back the other way. Forces Nava to make a play. Gets the demo. This is going to put Samba in a tough spot. But Rain, a little bit of a giveaway there, and Samba gets it back to the midfield line. Here's Grau off the ceiling. Double touch, but he can't get it to go. Just a bit too sharp on that angle. And can't quite get it to fall. Rain again down out in front. Samba with a bit of a touch. That's over the head of Vixa. Adverse is going to take control of this one, but Grau off the back wall and forcing Samba back yet again. Great pass to Rain. The shot just a bit high.
It was the only place he could put that shot. The defenses of both teams playing very anxious, playing very nervous. It's so close. One mistake is all it takes here in overtime.
Well, there's the double commit. Last back is Rain. All 3 players commit. Vixa with a wide open goal. Can't find it, but Rain will. Delaware take the victory off a overcommitment from UTA on the offensive side. Rain finishes the game with a hat trick, and Delaware completes the comeback in game 1. What a first game of this series.
What a huge showing from Rain, too, to get a hat trick in game 1. Not only that, but he was the guy on this team who really stepped up. I talked about how Grau is usually the captain of this team. He's usually the guy who, UD relies on. But for Rain to step up and make those plays is an absolute massive step for this team.
Yeah, and again, a very, very close first game. Looked like UTA was going to kind of run away with it, right? They started a little bit quicker than Delaware did. They got those 2 quick goals, and Delaware didn't really seem to have a response. It wasn't until they connected on that first goal that they kind of looked like they gained a little bit of confidence. Of course, Samba, a questionable no challenge in the offensive zone with no time to go, gives Delaware an opportunity that they score on, and like we saw there in that overtime. It was anybody's game, but my goodness, if this series is going to continue to be this exciting, I would not be surprised if we see all 5 here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at all too, and I wouldn't be shocked to see more overtimes. I want to talk about that UTA offense. Very versatile. It seemed very Swiss Army knife. They approached, in various different ways, but it was that back third of UD that stood strong. I mean, you saw the double commit there right at the very end, but eventually it was always the third man back who was able to make the play.
And again, I mean, from defense to offense, Delaware was able to score that goal, and UTA getting a little bit over aggressive. I don't necessarily mind the call, but at some point, it's gotta. I mean, Adverse had to make that play, right? It was the game was going to be won by one of two teams in that moment. Adverse just didn't get it by the defender, and it's tough to see that that's how that ends for UTA as we head into game 2 right here, but I don't mind the aggression because Delaware's defense can be quite difficult to break at times, and sometimes you just kind of have to throw everything you have at it and hope that it sticks.
It's one of those situations where if you do overextend, if you win the challenge on the overextension, it's almost a guaranteed goal, right? And so I can understand the eagerness to try and win that challenge, but you have to be careful. You have to communicate. Otherwise, you'll see exactly how game 1 ended.
UTA going to try to battle from behind now, down 1 in the series after a thrilling game 1 overtime. Delaware came from behind, dropped the first 2 goals of that game. Were able to make them up. A tying goal in the final 5 seconds. Eventually, the win in overtime as Adverse quickly almost had that double touch. Vixen going to take it away. Nava looking for the pass to Samba. Forces all 3 Delaware players to jump for it. They end up getting things sorted out and will be able to play the ball back down into the UTA zone. So 3:35 left to go. And no score. Wouldn't be surprised if the defenses continue to play the way that we have seen in this series to be a relatively low scoring one.
Yeah, and in game 2 here, I'm kind of looking for Nava to step up again. Nava was part of a huge reason why UTA got off to such a hot start, and he's got to be there for the second half of the game, though, as well.
And this is Adverse down towards the back wall. Nava got to keep it moving. It bounces out towards Samba. Gonna get back to it. Does challenge Rain on the play. Nava gonna rotate quickly towards, but picks a give away to Adverse. Adverse already up for it. Has the touch, can't get back for the double as Vixa there going to clear the back wall, and that's one of the things both of these teams do very well. And one of the keys to a lot of defenses at this level is to make sure that that back wall coverage is spot on, because you got players like Samba. Samba's just going to pull up and fire. Growl opts not to challenge. That gave Samba so much room. That's the first of the game.
Yeah, and kind of an odd decision by Grau here. I think he was thinking that ball was actually going to hit the ground first, and just roll instead. But Samba, quick to the play, punches it home, and again, UTA starts off with the lead.
All right, back. Delaware come with a goal. All 3 players beyond the halfway line here to start off this playoff. The kickoff not going to work well for UTA, and that will be Delaware immediately tying game 2. Look at a 1-1 game with 2:15 to go as Samba in the air, deflected towards. Blocked away by Rain. As Nava to try to beat. Can't quite get by, and we keep playing. 2 minutes left, 1 goal apiece. I have a feeling this next goal could very well decide this game.
Yeah, and it feels like both of these teams are trying to up the pace of the game. They're going for a lot more air dribbles. They're going for a lot more passes in the air, and it's something that for both of these teams, it's about the chemistry and the technical prowess is really being shown off here throughout Game 2.
Oh, adverse double touch back wall. Nava's going to get beat over top, has to hustle back, gets a touch, but it's not enough. That will be Delaware to take the lead now. Still time left to go, but again, it's an overcommitment from UTA that gets punished.
Yeah, and once again, it's eagerness. It's just like we've been saying, the third man back is just too far forward. UTA wants this W so badly, but they can't afford to overextend. Otherwise, it'll be an easy tap in just like that.
Here's Samba hustling towards. This is a back wall play. Rain, solid read. We'll get back to this one as well. Nava wants to keep it in the corner, but again, it's Rain that comes away with it. Looking for Vixa across. Knocked away by adverse. Samba doesn't get over Grau. Adverse will chip it forward. Samba's looking for the demo on the last player back. Vixa does avoid and gets up quickly to make the touch. So 40 seconds left. One goal still in favor of Delaware. Vixa down in front. Samba's going to send this all the way back. Doesn't have the shot on goal. Bounces out to Nava. Pass across. Save made. Rebound from adverse will score. We're tied yet again.
The third man makes the save for UD, but the awareness by adverse to realize that there's no man back, especially after that demo, adverse is able to punch that one home, and once again, late in the game, it's tied.
Well, we have yet another overtime, a second overtime in a row here to start this series. Adverse to Nava, blocked away by Rain. Grau will pop it up. 15 seconds left in regulation time. This is dangerous. Vixa can't quite get it by. Grau's going to play this back to his own zone. Almost gave that one away. Does win the 50, and now Samba has adverse looking for a play. This should fall, and it will. We've got OT yet again. Delaware walked away with the first one. Can they replicate that success in Game 2?
UTA has to be careful. They've given up 2 goals by overextending. They've got a lot of offensive pressure, but they can't get caught off guard again.
This is Samba going to take off his own back wall. Grau and Rain trying to push forward. Block is there by adverse. Still it falls to Nava to play forward. Vixa down to Grau, and they'll clear. Samba has to chase back to his own zone. Be careful of Rain there. Vixa going to pick it up, but adverse. Solid back wall play, and down to Nava. They will find, again, another long-range clear. 2-2. A minute or so into overtime we've played. This is adverse into the corner. Rain just wants to pick it up. Nava can't find the touch. Samba wants to turn on it. Back the other way they go. Adverse waiting down in front. Vixa doesn't find the touch. That's it. UTA will win Game 2. Samba from his own zone. A minute into overtime.
And we were talking about how the third man for UD was always back there, always in time. And I believe the third man back this time was Rain. And he was trying to get, up in the play, expecting there to be a challenge. And didn't realize he had to be the man to make that play and could not do it. UTA takes Game 2.
Well, UTA battling back. We had 2 overtimes to start this series. 1 taken by Delaware, 1 from UTA. That means we've got at least 4 games for you here tonight in this series. And game number 3, we always talk about how important these third games are when you come into them tied at 1. It gives obviously one team a bit of breathing room. You get on match point. You kind of get that game in the hole that, okay, you can lose Game 4 and still be fine. But this specific series and this specific Game 3 I don't think that could be any more important.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Game 3 is... Ooh, that's a dangerous touch there. And Adverse, look at the shot placement to start off Game 3.
And that is a wonderful save from Rain. We don't want to take that away from him. He reads that from Samba very, very well, but unfortunately, it's just not good enough to get by Adverse, and you're absolutely right. Beautiful shot placement from Adverse as well. Will give UTA a very early lead in Game 3. First 10 seconds in. It's Arlington on the board. Rain will tie it almost immediately after, 10 seconds after. And in the first 20, we have 2 goals, 1 apiece.
Pace of the game. Samba gets this touch, and Nava is not ready for it. It is too far forward, and Rain is there to absolutely dunk on him.
Well, the first 20 seconds, a goal for each team. So we're pretty much back to where we were when we started things. We'll see if this goal scoring continues or if we start to slow down again like we've seen throughout this series, as Vixa trying to find some fancy moves there on Samba, not quite going to catch him out. This will be Nava trying to keep it in at the midfield line, and we haven't really seen too many defensive errors from these teams, which is a bit surprising considering how good both offenses can be. Sometimes you can just bait out those issues, but that's going to be a big one here for UTA. It's a triple commit, but nobody's able to get to the deflection from Delaware, and this should be okay for UTA to regain, and they will, sending it back down for route of play. Oh, giveaway! Samba scores!
This is such an unfortunate mistouch, and Samba absolutely going to capitalize on it. Grau here, he's just trying to catch this thing and cradle it up the wall, but instead it kicks right off the wall, right to Samba, and UTA snags the lead back.
And those are the defensive errors that I was talking about. We haven't really seen them in this game. And like clockwork, we find one, but Grau immediately responds with a goal of his own. Good play from Vixa in the corner, beats everybody for the pass to Grau. It's 2-2.
You said it. Vixa here on this play went massive. Beats all 3 players to get that ball across. And of course, someone for UD is there waiting to capitalize on it.
Oh, is this going to fall in? No, it is just a bit wide. Samba ends up taking out Vixa on the back line. Adverse wants to take advantage, but the block in the corner. Going to keep the ball there for the moment, though Delaware a bit out of boost, a bit flat-footed as well. Nava just can't quite get it on goal. Grau will take it and find the clear. Now Adverse collects at the midfield. Has Samba, great pass, what a better save. Rain just gonna be able to read that one. It stays 2-2 with 3 minutes left.
And it feels like some of these pass plays are on a knife's edge. If the defender's a fraction of a second late, they don't make this stop, they get dunked on instead. And so it's just the timing of the plays are so close and so dangerous.
Oh, Grau hits the post, had an opening, but couldn't put it home, and that will keep us tied. Now Adverse dangerously out in front of his own goal. Samba and Adverse both up for it. Nava's last back, doesn't find the touch. Grau will score, and Delaware take the lead.
Couple of whiffs here on some opportunities, but at the end of the day, it's Grau getting by one, and the shot placement again just in front of Adverse and just under the crossbar.
Oh, goodness me. A 3-3 tie. All right. Sorry, a 3-2 game right now for Delaware. I'm kind of anticipating the tie because it's all we've ever seen in this series so far.
Is this the first time that UG has held the lead in the middle of the game?
You know, now that you say that, potentially, I can't remember if they had a lead in that kind of craziness we saw in Game 2. I know in Game 1 they certainly did. But yeah, this could very well be the first lead here for the University of Delaware in the series. We'll see if they can hold on to it. They've got a minute 40 left to go to try to defend. Rain can't quite get up to make the touch. Grau patiently. Round 2 has Rain there, but they'll just fall into the corner. Still an opportunity. However, Adverse was up to the task. Not a lot of boost in the tank though, and Vixa will take it away. Samba, again, similar situation, no boost. Adverse is going to give Grau a whole lot of problems on the back line, and they'll clear it back in, but time starting to tick away from them. They've only got 70 seconds to find an equalizer. That demo is going to open up a little bit of space from Samba. Can Nava find the pass out in front? Gets a flip reset, but didn't really do too much with it, and Rain will see it back to the midfield.
And it feels like even when these guys get the demos and the space is there, the reaction time to get them, the defense, to get themselves into position is also on point as another demo comes through, but Vix is able to make the save.
Nava's quickly turning, has the pass to Adverse. Vixa is going to get there to block it down. 30 seconds left. Game number 3. Delaware trying to regain their series lead here. We've seen overtime in the last 2 games. Can UTA tie us up once again? Send us into overtime in game 3. Right now, Rain wants to put a stop to it. Vix is going to let this fall, and Samba gets a demo onto Rain. 3-on-1 back the other way. Grau makes the block. Beautiful. Nava will bounce Samba out of the play, but Rain keeps it up. Vix is there, just going to try to let this fall, but Samba again a 3-on-1. Shot towards, they score. Unbelievable. A comedy of errors from Delaware, and it's 3-3.
You cannot give UTA second chances. They will always be there to answer. They could have had the game. Rain could have let it drop, but instead kept it in play, and UTA once again tie the game late.
Triple commit, huge triple commit from Delaware. They've got to hustle back. Grau will pick up that back corner boost, and that's going to save them from getting shut down here in overtime. It's games like this where I wish we had like 10 minutes to break down everything that we have seen, because this has been just these past 30 seconds have been unbelievable. The fact that we're even in overtime right now is baffling, as Vixa wants to try to end it here. Samba has to make a save. Rain will get a little bit of a touch, but here comes Samba trying to come back the other way. Grau will play it over top. Adverse. Now up high is Samba. Little bit of a touch. Can't quite reach out for it. Rain will keep it moving, but still in the zone. Adverse beating Grau to that one. It'll fall to Samba. Takes a shot. Rain the save. Great reaction time there from Rain. We play overtime, but there it is. Grau from midfield. The pass from Rain after my God, a spectacular save. And it's 4-3 final score. My goodness, Delaware somehow walks away with this game.
And just a little redirect on it, just to make sure that that thing straight lines to the net instead of floating there. And that's all Delaware needs to take game 3.
Wow. So what, I mean, a dramatic finish, to say the least, to this game. Our 3rd overtime in 3 games. Delaware comes away with it, and now they have the series advantage heading into game 4. Let's see, shot totals 14 to, what is that, 12, I think? No, 11. 14 to 11 in favor of Delaware, and I mean, it's been all offense all the time. We've seen a whole lot of big plays, huge saves from either side. It's so close between these 2 teams, and I mean, just the fact that we even saw overtime, that, you know, I know Delaware's got to have a bit of a sigh of relief that they won in OT, but just some of the decisions that were made to keep the ball up, to not challenge it on the sidewall, it's baffling. But here we are, game 4, Delaware up 2-1.
it's just so telling of how close this series actually is, right? It's not only just the consistent overtime, but you can tell how big this game is for both of these teams. They both feel like they're championship rosters. They both feel like they should be the best. They both feel like they should win this series, and the nerves are getting to them a couple times, and it's just been so back and forth.
Can UTA start the scoring again? Adverse, a double touch, but Grau makes the save. Good play at the near post there to keep us scoreless early on in game 4. As rain around Adverse, this is up in the air for Vixa. Play will be down to Grau, but Adverse just there to knock it away. Samba now. Get back to it, not quite. Rain just going to throw it out in front. Nobody really there to challenge for Delaware. And it looks like Delaware playing with some extra speed, maybe a little bit more confidence after that last game. But if this series is you know, if these games are doomed to repeat themselves as Grau makes another big save, I don't think any of these teams can rest easy here until it's over.
Yeah, absolutely. And right off the bat, you see UTA putting up, great quality chances. Is that one off the crossbar? And scores!
And Rain probably going to want this one back, but I love the little play from Samba and Nava there. Samba intentionally lets go of the ball, kind of puts the defense out of whack with Nava jumping up for it, sends it at a completely different angle. That opened up space for Adverse. He didn't get the touch he probably wanted, but it was enough to beat the defender. Rain couldn't get there in time to knock it away. And it's a 1-0 game for UTA now with 3:15 to go. Samba wanted the shot, can't quite find it. And my goodness, this series continues to deliver as Adverse will score. The pass from Nava's perfect.
And UTA's offense starting to wake up. Look at Nava go up the wall here and get this final touch back down to Adverse. And Adverse, we talked about his shot placement. Once again, you can see he sees the defender in net come up to try and challenge it, but he's late, and Adverse is able to tuck it inside the near post.
So a very hot start to game 4 for UTA. They want to send this to a 5th game. Most certainly. Well, we've seen this position before from Delaware. They've battled back from it. Can they do it again? They've gotten a lot of time. We are just now approaching halftime, so still an opportunity for Delaware to get back into this one. Nava wants to send Adverse on his way. He does play it into the corner. Gets a double touch as well, but it is right to Vixa. Samba to Nava. Adverse ends up going down looking for a demo, but this is going to open up some space. Samba's there on the pass. Attempt just didn't quite connect. So Adverse has to go up to block this one down. And now Delaware in a bit of an interesting spot here. They haven't really had a ton of offense in this game. We've seen them obviously play from behind and do it well before, but this looks like a UTA team playing with a bit more purpose right now.
Yeah, early on their offense was kind of trapped in the corner, and now they're trying to work through the middle of the field, but UTA has just kind of been swarming, and their protection of the back wall is on point.
Delaware's going to have to come up with something a bit more creative now to try to find this first of the game for them, as Nava nearly gives it away at midfield. Vixa ends up getting a touch on it. Couldn't quite put it on goal. Adverse sends it back into the zone. However, Rain sends Vixa. The shot is down, but Nava is going to get there in time. Using that Fennec to get it back to the midfield as now Samba out of the corner. Looking for Adverse. Bit of a double commit. Nava last back. Vixa on the demo. Grau's going to dodge a demo from Samba, looking to get a touch here out in front. Defense going to come up big again as we continue to go back and forth. Miss from Samba. Vixa scores. It's 2-1.
All it takes is one mistake, and Vixa here gets the touch off the wall, and the whiff there by Samba leaves the door wide open for Vixa, and still 58 seconds remain. It's been dangerous.
I believe I said the whiff from Samba. I think it was adverse watching that replay back. I apologize for that. Either way, a big miss on the defensive side for UTA. Now all of a sudden, Delaware back within a goal. Certainly possible. The time is not the friend of Delaware, though we have seen some last-second heroics from both sides today. Would not be surprised to see it again. And if the first 3 games are any kind of indicator, it's quite possible we've got another overtime here in just a moment. However, UTA trying to force game 5. Growl looking to bully his way through there. Can't quite beat Nava. Vixa up to try to challenge this one. Samba, this is down in the corner. Should be game over right here. Growl going to keep it up. Rain waiting for a pass out mid. Samba doesn't find the touch, but Vixa can't get it on goal. Growl will turn. Oh, save made on the line by Samba. I thought we saw it again, but it's saved away. Actually, I think that was adverse on the save. But my goodness, nearly another 0-second heroic goal, but it's adverse to make the save. And we go to game 5.
Yeah, and finally, the game doesn't go to overtime for the first time this series, and it's all thanks to the play of adverse, making up for his whiff earlier to give UD a second chance at life, and makes that save there. And UTA, I should say, I mean, from the start of that game, it felt like they just put the pressure on. There was a portion of that game where UD was on offense and kept trying to ramp up the pressure, but the rotation was just so clean. The physicality wasn't there, and UTA, it felt almost smothering.
And let's not forget that those first 2 goals were scored by UTA quite early on in that game, right? Delaware was playing from behind for a majority of it. They were able to keep UTA at bay for a good portion of that game and not concede anymore to make the deficit larger. But, you know, just dropping those first 2 as Nava's going to score immediately in game 5 to put UTA back out to a lead. And this is where it gets kind of scary if you're Delaware.
Rain is the last man back again, and he's got to take an awkward angle. He has to be able to make that challenge, but Nava knows that he's got him beat and fakes him out with a little bit of a mistouch there, and UTA once again with an early lead.
So the lead to UTA to start game 5. Remember, Delaware's undefeated streak in the regular season is on the line. Samba, the double touch. Make it a 2-0 game. That's why backball defense is so important.
What a pass here off the ceiling to Samba, and then Samba's ability to read this off the backboard and dunk it down in is absolutely highlight reel material.
What a way to start game 5 here for UTA. Delaware in a hole early. You're going to find yourself down 2 goals. Might as well do it with 4+ minutes left to go. We'll see if they can find a quick one here, get themselves back on the right track. Growl down to Vixa. That'll be taken by Nava. Back wall pass to adverse. Rain has to make a touch. Will be Samba into the corner. Growl and Vixa combine. Adverse gonna have that one by him. Touch from Growl, now Rain. Back to Growl, popped up high. Shouldn't be an issue for Samba. He'll play it on to adverse, though it is taken away by Vixa, and the attack continues here for Delaware. We'll see if this can turn into something, but the rotation's been pretty good right now from Arlington. I'd like to see a little bit more physicality from Delaware, if I'm honest.
And it feels like UD's offense is kind of stuck in the corner, and the overextension is going to bite them. A 3-goal lead. That is huge in game 5.
Yeah, Rain just too far forward, creeps in from that half-field line, and unfortunately gets punished for it. was looking for a rebound, something to slam home, just some kind of opportunity, because Delaware really have not been getting a ton of them in the past couple of games. But unfortunately gets beat. Now it is a 3-goal deficit. We'll see if Delaware has what it takes to come back from it. But with the pressure on right now in this 5th game, it's going to be a tough climb for them. They are still on the offensive side. This is Rain. It's bouncing out. Picks off the respawn. Doesn't opt to challenge. Will turn back. Rain's going to play it back in. Gets it around Nava, but that's about as much of the offense as we're going to see for now from Delaware.
Yeah, and Delaware once again kind of trapped, had their opportunities to score, but the last man back on UTA is there to make the stop.
Ooh, Adverse being the last player back here. Trying to send that into the corner, had to dodge a demo from Vixa. Growl, bit of a giveaway. Forces Vixa to make that play. Samba does pop it up. Vixa into the corner. As again, we continue to play on 3-0. All of the games so far have been 1-goal games. This one not looking likely right now, though. Here's a chance for Delaware. Vixa, a wide open goal, and that will put them on the board. Make it a 2-goal game now in the minute 55.
They get overextended, get a little fancy, and Vixa gets the bump on the last man there for UTA, and he's able to find that aerial and flick it back home. And like you said, 2 goals just inside 2 minutes. It's a tall mountain to climb.
It's certainly doable here. Oh, Samba, big whiff. Nava's just gonna flick it upwards. Growl tries to take it away. Rebound for Rain will go in, and it's 1 goal. 10 seconds apart. Delaware find 2.
One small mistake, the adverse whiff on this clear puts the rotation of UTA completely out of position. And finally, it's important to note that that first shot got whiffed, dragging a second defender out of the way, meaning adverse was the only person who could have made that save, and he had already missed on the first one. No time to get back, and that's what gives UD a chance here in Game 5. Big demo coming through in the dunk.
Nava had to make a clutch play there to keep that one out of his own goal. And Delaware pressing hard, trying to keep this game within their reach. As Vixa gonna pass it over to Growl, just going to break into the zone now. Minute 5 to go, Game 5. Can Delaware complete the comeback here? 2 demos, 1 apiece, but Samba's gonna be last back. Vixa looking for the pass in front. Good play from Samba to keep this one alive. Nava with 2 demos now. That's gonna force Delaware to go back to the drawing board on the offensive side. 40 seconds left. Growl over Adverse. This is a back wall play. Adverse gets there for the double touch. Rain will pop it up at midfield, but Nava sends it all the way back down. Growl into the zone. Here's Adverse trying to take control. This is going to be just beyond Growl, but he is able to make the play down towards the front of the cage. 15 seconds left to go. Arlington trying to kill the rest of the time. Adverse gets a little bit caught out here. Has to pop it up, trying to waste even more time. Flip reset down to Samba. 5 seconds left. The ball's gonna fall. Here's Growl, has to keep it up. Nava gonna send it across. Rain is there on the challenge. Growl will turn, but Samba's there, and that will do it. UT Arlington break the undefeated record of Delaware, handing them their first losses of the season. And both teams will walk away from this one sitting at 6-1, but what a series to do it.
Yeah, I mean, all it took was one mistake either way for the entirety of this set. Every game, a 1-goal game. And I mean, we said it at the beginning, these are 2 titans of this conference. These are 2 of the best teams that we've seen, some of the most consistent play. And all it took was one mistouch here or there.
And the craziest stat, again, Arlington winning that game 3-2. They they, meaning UT Arlington, were only able to put up 3 shots in that fifth game. All 3 shots turned into goals, and that's all that they needed. Delaware, I think, had almost 10 shots, and they just weren't able to find the shooting that they needed to pull that one back.
Yeah, and adverse shout out to adverse's defense because it wasn't there in games 1 and 2 or games 1 and 3 when Delaware won, but when adverse was on point on that back line, I mean, he had 1 or 2 whiffs, but he made all the touches that he had to make.
Yeah, absolutely. So well played, really to both sides. But congratulations again for the victory, and it really it could not have been a closer series between UT Arlington and Delaware. I hope that all of you watching enjoyed that one. We do need to take a little bit of a break, however, and we've got one final series on the night. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be, I believe, North Dakota and Hofstra University. So make sure that you are here for that. But my goodness, what a series. Please do stick around. We'll be back for our final series of the day.